Blac Chyna reveals truth about Wendy Williams' awful treatment at facility. Blac Chyna, now known by her birth name Angela White, has come forward with jaw-dropping claims about media personality Wendy Williams' treatment at a care facility, shining light on a side of the story that has long been hidden from public view. The revelation has stirred up intense discussion and reflection on the treatment of public figures, especially those going through difficult personal battles behind closed doors. The former reality star turned wellness advocate has completely transformed her public image in recent years. While once known for her tumultuous relationships and controversial headlines, Angela White has embarked on a journey of healing, growth, and spiritual transformation. It is through this new lens that she found herself in a position to witness firsthand what she described as inhumane and deeply troubling treatment experienced by Wendy Williams. According to Chyna, her experience intersected with Wendy's during a brief period at a wellness and recovery facility. While the public had only speculated about Wendy's whereabouts and condition during her sudden absence from her daytime talk show, Chyna says she witnessed Wendy's real-life struggles in an environment that was anything but healing. A chance meeting turns into a wake-up call. Chyna disclosed that she did not expect to cross paths with Wendy Williams in such a setting. It wasn't like we were friends outside or had some coordinated arrival, she revealed. I had no idea she would be there. When I saw her, I was shocked. But what shocked me even more was how she was being treated. According to Chyna, Wendy appeared fragile, isolated, and disconnected, a far cry from the sharp, outspoken, and commanding woman the world knew from her decades on television and radio. Wendy was not herself. She looked lost in her own mind, but worse, she was surrounded by people who didn't seem to care. Chyna went on to say that Wendy's condition was being downplayed, and her needs were often ignored by staff members who appeared dismissive or even outright hostile. There were times I would see her sitting alone for hours. No staff checked in, no comfort, no support. And when she would ask questions or request something, they treated her like she was a burden. It was heartbreaking. The reality of fame in crisis. Angela's statements open up a broader conversation about how society treats celebrities who fall from grace, particularly women. Wendy Williams, once hailed as the queen of daytime talk and a cultural lightning rod, has had her private health battles and financial woes spill into public discourse in recent years. From issues with her former management to concerns about her mental and physical well-being, Wendy has endured a very public breakdown that was often the subject of tabloid ridicule. People forget Wendy is human, Chyna asserted. They forget she's a mother, a daughter, a person with real feelings. All they see is the gossip. But behind closed doors, she's suffering, and no one is stepping up to help her in the right way. Angela recounted one particularly disturbing moment when she overheard staff members mocking Wendy after an emotional outburst. It wasn't just negligence. It was cruelty. They were laughing about her, saying things like she brought this on herself or that's what happens when you talk trash for a living. It made me sick. Chyna admitted that she struggled with whether or not to speak out, fearing public backlash or accusations of seeking attention. But in the end, she decided it was more important to be a voice for someone who could no longer speak for herself. A plea for compassion. What I saw with Wendy broke my heart, Angela shared. I know what it's like to hit rock bottom. I know what it feels like to have the world look at you like you're entertainment instead of a human being. But nobody deserves to be treated the way she was being treated. Nobody. Angela's own transformation journey has been well documented. From removing cosmetic enhancements to publicly embracing a spiritual path, she has shed the persona of Blac Chyna and stepped into a life rooted in authenticity. That evolution has also come with a sense of responsibility, especially when it comes to advocating for mental health awareness and ethical treatment in recovery facilities. I saw how easy it is for someone to lose their voice, she explained. When you're in those places, your voice is the first thing they take. You can't defend yourself. You can't call out for help without being labeled as difficult or unstable. I couldn't let Wendy suffer in silence. Angela also noted that Wendy's family situation added to the vulnerability. She didn't have many people visiting or checking on her. That kind of isolation can kill a person faster than any illness. questioning the system. Chyna's revelations are already reigniting conversations about oversight and accountability in wellness and mental health facilities. If someone as famous and widely known as Wendy Williams can be allegedly mistreated without public knowledge, what happens to those who don't have a platform? Angela insisted, this isn't just about Wendy. It's about a system that doesn't care. These places are supposed to help people heal, but some are more like prisons. You're stripped of your identity, your autonomy, and sometimes your dignity. She added that wealth and fame are not shields when someone is placed under legal guardianship or medical watch. People assume money protects you. But in that place, it didn't matter who Wendy was. She was treated like she didn't matter. Her comments raise critical issues surrounding guardianship laws, institutional care, and the way vulnerable celebrities are managed once they are no longer perceived as profitable. A call to action. Angela is now urging Wendy's fans, advocates, and mental health organizations to demand transparency and reform. It's time we start asking questions. Who's really in charge of Wendy's care? What are the standards being enforced in these facilities? Who's watching the watchers? She believes the media also has a role to play. Instead of exploiting Wendy's condition for clicks, let's focus on making sure she's actually safe. Let's focus on whether she's receiving the care she needs, with dignity. Angela says she plans to channel her voice into activism and advocacy, not just for Wendy, but for all individuals who are at risk in care facilities. If this happened to Wendy, it could happen to your mother, your sister, your daughter. Let's not wait until it's too late. She is currently working with a small group of advocates to launch an awareness campaign aimed at protecting vulnerable patients in mental health and rehabilitation centers. Wendy's uncertain future. As of now, Wendy Williams remains out of the public eye, her condition largely speculative to the outside world. Her team has released only sparse updates about her health and legal situation, stating that she is in treatment and being cared for. But Chyna's account paints a vastly different picture, one of neglect, isolation, and systemic failure. Chyna believes that speaking the truth, even if uncomfortable, is the only way to bring light to darkness. I have nothing to gain by sharing this. But I couldn't live with myself if I kept it to myself. Wendy deserves better. They all do.